This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the afternoon show presented by ESEN. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Going pretty good. Going pretty good. Baseball game last night kind of started a little weird. We'll jump into some baseball. Seattle got right off to the lead, and then Toronto went crazy. So we're not ready. We're not ready to give up yet.
That for a blowout, that was a fun game to watch. I mean, you had, like you said, Seattle gets the 2-run home run. They were first inning by Julio Rodriguez.
Yep.
And then I think it was the third inning. The Blue Jays score 5 runs, either second or third inning. I think it was third inning.
I think it was third.
And then this boom ended up being 8 home runs hit total in the game. I think, if I remember right, because I think Blue Jays had 5. And Mariners had 2 or 3. So I think there were 7 or 8 home runs hit in that game. I mean, it was a fun game to watch, especially if you like seeing home runs and you like offense. But especially for a game that wasn't close, it surprised me. I really thought Seattle would win that game last night. I felt like the Blue Jays would win tonight. But I thought Game 1 there in Seattle, with the way that crowd was going to be, and then the way the game started, they got them 2 quick runs. It's like, oh yeah, this is going to be Seattle's night. Like, that place was rocking. It looked like they had all the momentum. And then the Blue Jays bats got hot, and we've seen what the Blue Jays can do when their bats get hot. Look what they've done to the Yankees in that series, when with their bats getting hot like that. So this is a big game tonight, in my opinion, for Seattle. You can't lose this game and let them tie the series back up after you won 2 games on the road.
I agree.
This is a big game for Seattle, because if you drop this game, Toronto has all the momentum. Because they won 2 in a row, even the series back, basically took home field back. If they can win this tonight, so yeah, this is a big game for Seattle. You don't want to lose your first 2 home games in this series.
Well, the thing is, if you win tonight, you're going back home. You're going to get to go back to Toronto. Because if they would lose tonight, there's another game in Seattle still too. So you may not make it back home. You win tonight, you're guaranteed you're going back home.
That's what I'm saying. You get home field back.
Yeah.
The series is going to have to end. Is guaranteed to end in your building.
Well, in today's game, you got Castillo for Seattle, which me and Chris is very familiar with. Castillo pitched for the Reds for many years. I almost quit being a Reds fan when they got rid of Castillo. That's how upset I was, because I really like Castillo.
Just imagine if we still had him with Green and Lodolo and.
Yep. And he's going against. See, Chris, I have trouble with his name. Max.
Scherzer.
Scherzer. Yeah, he's going against Max. What do you expect from this game today? I mean, Seattle got off to a fast start like they wanted yesterday, and it didn't make no difference. What are you expecting from this game? I think it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game. I actually think it's. I think it's going to be a lot, probably a lot lower scoring game than what we saw last night. Scherzer has been. Damn it! What's my phone doing? He's been up and down this year. He's not that dominant guy he used to be, but he still has enough left in him where he can in a big spot in the playoffs can come out and dominate a game. Like I don't think he don't still have the complete stuff he used to, not consistently, but he still has enough where when he's on, he can cause you a lot of trouble. But with Castillo on the mound, I look for Seattle to bounce back tonight and take back control of the series.
I mean, you look at it. I mean, I know Seattle scored 4 runs. Normally, that's enough for you to be in the ball game and possibly win. Toronto, like I said, went crazy. They just got to hope Toronto, like you said earlier, don't get on one of them streaks, because Toronto can get on that where they just pound the ball for a few games in a row. And if they do that, Toronto very easily come back and win this series. Now, Seattle's got to get off to a good start again, hitting the ball and scoring a few runs, but their pitching's got to do better today than what it did yesterday.
Yeah, you can't give up 5 home runs. You're not going to win many games, especially in the playoffs, giving up 5 runs.
Let's shift over to the other game today.
Real quick, because I know there was a lot of talk about that last game of the last series between Detroit and Seattle. If that messed up the Mariners because they weren't going to have their top guys there for game 1, and they end up winning them first 2 games anyway.
Yeah,
but could it end up working out in their favor now, because now in like a big game 4 tonight, you have Castillo on the mound, where if the rotation would have been right, he'd have pitched earlier in the series. So now you got one of your better pitchers on the mound in game 4, where you might not have if the rotation wasn't, if you didn't have to use so many guys in that last game.
Yeah, that's true. Most definitely, it may have worked out for him. Let's move over to the other game for tonight. Chris, if you can look and see if Milwaukee's determined who the pitcher is going to be. Last time when I looked this morning, they said to be determined. The Dodgers are going with Glasnow. So
according to FanDuel, it's going to be Ashby.
See, Glasnow's not been lights out. He can be. Ashby, if I remember, he didn't pitch real great in the other playoff game that he pitched. I don't like it for Milwaukee today. I think the Dodgers are going to take a firm grip and win this game 3 at home. I think Milwaukee did what they couldn't do. I mean, they got off to a terrible start and down 0-2 and back at the Dodger Stadium for 3 games. I just don't have much hope.
I think I kind of feel a lot about this game like I did last night's game, and I was wrong. But I don't see the Dodgers. For one, the Dodgers are best home team in baseball, and I just don't see the Dodgers, after able to steal both games in Milwaukee, coming to Los Angeles. That crowd's going to be loud as hell. That building's going to be rocking. I just don't see the Dodgers losing this game, and especially with Glasnow on the mound. I mean, he's capable of doing what Snell and Yamamoto done the last 2 games. I mean, he has that kind of stuff when he's on. I'd like to see the Brewers win a game, because I'd like to see the series get competitive, kind of like we saw. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dodgers in this game. But I felt real strong about Seattle last night, and I was completely wrong on that one.
What Milwaukee's got to do is what they did most of the season, and they haven't done against the Dodgers. They got to put the ball in play. They got to make contact. That's what they got
to get to that bullpen.
But that's what they've been good at. They was good at because they're not a team that hits a ton of home runs. They get a lot of base hits and doubles and score runs that way. I don't want to say small ball, but more. They're not a power team necessarily.
They rely on timely hitting. What the Reds are trying to do as well.
Yeah, and they got to get it going. I mean, they're capable. I mean, this is the playoffs, but during the regular season, they have the Dodgers numbers. They were 6-0 against them, so they know how to beat them. They just got to. But the playoffs is a different animal. So, and the Dodgers with their pitching staff, and this kind of built for the playoffs.
And this one of the few times the Dodgers have been almost full strength.
Yeah,
as well. most this season.
That's true. Well, Chris, you got anything else on baseball before we move on to some college football?
No.
Okay, well, let's move on to some college football. Some pretty good games this week. First game, got is LSU, number 10 LSU at number 17 Vanderbilt. Chris, what do you think about this game? You think Vandy's got a shot against LSU?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good game. I mean, I think Alabama is a good real good football team, and Vanderbilt had chances to win that game. I mean, and it's not like Vanderbilt is when they play these tougher schools have been getting blown out.
Yeah.
LSU's offense just hasn't been consistent enough for me. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I don't even know what the spread is. Let me look. But I think Vanderbilt has a chance in this game, a chance to win the game.
Oh yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up upset here. I think I'm gonna go with Vandy. I think at home it's a big game. It's a game where they can prove themselves. I mean, you lost to Alabama. It was a fairly close game, but this is a game that you need. I mean, if you beat LSU, it's going to get you back up closer to the top 10 because LSU's 10, you're 17. It's going to get you in a hunt for playoffs.
Actually, Vanderbilt is the favorite.
Really?
Yeah, Vanderbilt's a 2.5 point favorite at home.
Should be a good game.
I like Vanderbilt in this game because I think their offense is with Aviala, or how you pronounce his name, is just more consistent than what the LSU offense has been. I know LSU has a good they do have a good defense, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I am too. Next game up, number 14 Oklahoma at South Carolina. Chris, this is another one that I don't know about the Oklahoma quarterback situation, but especially if the main guy don't start, I'm spelling an upset. I think South Carolina could beat Oklahoma at South Carolina.
Yeah, they have Oklahoma as a 5.5 point favorite, so on the road. So I would say that they're expecting Mateer to play.
Okay.
Going by that line, I don't think they would have Oklahoma as a 5.5 point favorite on the road against South Carolina if he wasn't playing. I'll be honest with you, I kind of like South Carolina in this game as well, especially at plus 5.5. Because I could see this game being won by a field goal, no matter who wins it. So yeah, I like South Carolina here.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, number 1, Ohio State at Wisconsin. Yeah, Wisconsin is to have the offense that can compete with Ohio State. Wisconsin's not a terrible team necessarily, but I think Ohio State puts it on at least by a couple touchdowns at least.
Let me ask you this. The spread's 25.5 points. You think Ohio State covers?
I think they could cover, but I wouldn't take that bet either way. I wouldn't take Wisconsin in the points, and I wouldn't take Ohio State.
I don't think they cover, and I'm not saying that because I don't think Ohio State's. I think they have the potential and could, but I don't think they do because I don't think. If you watch Ohio State, they're pretty conservative on offense. They really ain't took the handcuffs off that young quarterback. So I just that's why I just don't think they're going to try to score enough points to win by 25.5. Not that they're not capable. They play pretty conservative.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think they may beat them.
But I think they'll beat them by at least. I think by at least 2 touchdowns. I think by at least 4 points.
And they may beat them by 3 touchdowns, but that's not 25. So yeah, I agree with you. Next up, Michigan State at number 3, IU. Chris, that stadium at IU is going to be rocking. I mean, you got a team that's they've never been ranked this high before, and I think they'll be ready to play. I think they put it on Michigan State pretty good. This main thing with IU, just keep playing and stay healthy. IU's got an excellent chance to do well, to make the playoffs and be a high seed and have a chance to do really well.
Let me ask you this: IU's a 27.5 point favorite. You think they cover?
I'm going to say yes, and the reason why is I think Cincinnati is the type of coach, and not that he's trying to rub it in anybody's faces, but I think he believes that wins and beating teams badly, beating them by 30 points and stuff like that can matter to
Oh, it
the
does.
people making decisions on the seeds.
The way the win looks matters to a lot when it comes down to that the playoff bracket when they're making
It,
those
it,
seeds. It does.
it
Like,
could be a difference if IU loses a game of them being a 3 or 4 seed or a 5 seed. It could make a difference if they beat Michigan State by 40 points or if they beat them by 7.
because it was just like I don't know if you watched McAfee's show today, but Matt Rule was on there because it was a recorded video he done with them I think yesterday, and then they've been doing it every week. But they were asking Matt Rule. The guy brought up about the Indiana Oregon game, and Matt Rule said when he saw the Indiana one, he said I had to go watch that game to see how they done it. And he goes, they didn't win by a gimmick or done this. They outplayed them. Yeah. So that right there, if coaches are doing that, that the people that are voting on or making the bracket and seeding that they're doing this, that they're doing this, that matters to them how the win, like how it looks as well. So yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, if you have a chance to run the score up on a team, you have to. Not, and it's not to be a dick, but you have to because it can affect you down the road. Because the difference of beating a team by 7 points or beating them by 14 in the eyes of some of these voters is big.
Well, it's going to be big, especially
depending on how big what the spread is, how big of a favorite you are on there. Because if you're supposed to be a 27, okay, you're like IU, you're a 27-point favorite. You win this game against Michigan State. Say ends up being a close game and you beat them by 7. People are going to look at you a lot different than if you beat them by 27 and cover the spread.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it matters.
Well, perfect example is let's say Illinois ends up being a top 20 team at the end of the year. So they end up number 18 at the end of the year. IU's got to win over them where they scored what? Well, they scored 60 points, didn't they?
Yeah, beating by 50 points.
Yeah. So I mean, when they go back to look, so IU beat Illinois by 50 points, and you have Ohio State, who's number 1, beat them by 20. I mean, that can come into play.
Beat Oregon by 2 scores.
And I don't know if that's always fair for it to come into play because I
don't think it's fair because a win's a win.
Well, it's also about style.
And when you get these conference games, like you're playing against teams that know you more. Like conference games are. I mean, we've seen it. Anybody can beat anybody in a conference game if you don't show up ready. So especially in the Big Ten, like the Big Ten's a lot deeper than what people give it credit for. Yeah. I think Nebraska is a top 25 team. I do. I think they'll be there pretty soon. But yeah, I don't know how you have Cincinnati ranked ahead of Nebraska, and Nebraska beat Cincinnati.
No, Cincinnati did have a big win, but still, that should even make it worth more than Nebraska beat them because Cincinnati had that big win. That should even make it worth more. So I don't know. But the thing with it's about how your teams match up. Like you said, you talked about Ohio State. Their quarterback, they're kind of conservative in offense. They're probably not going to put 60 points on Illinois. They still beat them pretty good, but because of the way they play, IU's a lot more aggressive. And everything IU did that day was good, great, and everything Illinois did was wrong. So, and that can happen too. Team has a real bad game, and another team has a really great game. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm planning on watching that game. The next one is number 4, Texas A&M at Arkansas. I don't think Arkansas, they've looked good at times, but I just don't think they have enough for A&M. I need to watch this game because I haven't really watched much of A&M. I know you're impressed by him. I heard McAfee talk about him today. So I need to try to sit down and at least watch a few minutes, maybe a quarter at least of that game and check them out.
Yeah, I like Texas A&M. I like that coach Elko up there. But yeah, I think Texas A&M wins this game at Arkansas. It'll be a big win for Texas A&M to get a good road win in
Yep.
conference as well.
And next up, most people probably say this is the game of the week.
The Elko, the coach at A&M.
Yep.
He was the guy that was at Duke and was turning Duke around and had that Riley Leonard end up going to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He was the coach there with him, and then he took the Texas A&M job, and then Riley Leonard transferred to Notre Dame.
Okay. Actually, the next two games are probably going to be considered the games of the week. First one we're going to look at is number 5, Mississippi, at number 9, Georgia. Chris, what do you think about this one?
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss here. I think Lane Kiffin's gonna get another big win. I think he's gonna get a real big road win here, in Georgia. It's hard to win there. I like what I've been seeing out of this Ole Miss team. So I'm gonna go with Ole Miss.
Let me ask you, Chris. Do you think Ole Miss is number 5? I think Alabama's 6, 7, or 8. Do you think this could be Mississippi's year to maybe take this conference?
I think they have a chance. I think it's probably going to be between them and Alabama. I mean, Georgia. Don't get me wrong. Georgia's a good team still as well, so Georgia would be right in the mix. But Ole Miss has looked awful good. And I think Alabama, other than that Florida State game, has looked pretty damn good as well.
Yep. Next up, number 11, Tennessee at Alabama. I didn't write down what they're ranking at. I think they're 6, if I remember right. I know there's top 8, but I think they're 6. But we think Tennessee's got a shot against Alabama at Alabama.
I don't. I just don't trust that Tennessee quarterback. And I think Alabama's quarterback is playing well. But yeah, I think Alabama's going to take care of business. I was trying to see what the spread was, but for some reason I'm having trouble.
Yeah, Tennessee's offense is a little inconsistent. Alabama's defense is played better than they have. If it was at Tennessee, I would be more apt to maybe take Tennessee. But yeah, I think Alabama wins this game.
Yeah. I don't know why it won't let me freaking. Shit's acting weird. Phone's acting weird. But I do have a question for you real quick.
Okay.
Because now with Penn State firing James Franklin, you're hearing all these rumors about this coach going there, this coach going there. Of course, you're hearing Cignetti's name, Matt Rule a lot because he from Penn State. You know, and I'm not saying I feel sorry for these guys. Okay, they make a hell of a lot of money, but the media does these coaches a big disservice by when a coach like these openings come open and then they just start, not just the media, like sports talk shows, if you just start throwing names out there, and then the media and these reporters go ask these guys, hey, are you going to leave to here to go there? And they put these coaches in a no-win situation. Because if the coach says, yeah, I'm interested in that job, then he's going to lose his locker room. But then if he says no, I'm not, I'm staying here, but he is going to, but then ends up leaving, then they want to call him a liar. So either way, they're going to bury a coach.
And then if you say you don't want to talk about it, no comment, they're going to say, well, he's not going to comment because he's interested. I mean,
yeah,
you can't win.
I like the situation. Some of these people are trying to like put Matt Rule in. Like it's crazy. Let him coach the team he's coaching, and then worry about that after the season's over.
Yeah, I know Cignetти was on McAfee's show today. I just only got to see a couple minutes of it. I want to go back and watch it.
Yeah, he was supposed to be on there yesterday, and they had technical difficulties. He was on there for like a minute. He started talking, and you couldn't. His connection was bad, and I guess they couldn't get him back, so that he ended up coming on today. I didn't get to see all of it, but I saw a little bit of it.
I think we're both taking Alabama.
Yeah.
The game, I think, is going to be interesting, Chris. It's number 20 USC against number 13 Notre Dame. At Notre Dame, I got to kind of go with Notre Dame. I think they're going to be a little stronger. I don't know if USC's defense can hold up. USC's got a good offense, though. What do you think about this? You think USC's got a shot at Notre Dame?
I think that, I think it could be a good game. I think Notre Dame wins the game, especially being at Notre Dame. I just don't know if USC's, and not that Notre Dame has the greatest offense, but I don't know if USC's defense is going to be able to slow them down enough, because Notre Dame has a pretty good defense as well that I think could give USC's offense some trouble. Yeah, I think Notre Dame gets to win at home.
Yeah, I think USC is not as good as what IU was last year, but they remind me a little bit of them. If they're going to go to the next level, they're going to have to get bigger and stronger up front, like I believe IU did this year. So I think USC's on the right track. But I think Notre Dame's going to be too strong for them, too physical for them. Just a couple more games. Number 21, Texas at Kentucky. Do you worry at all after Texas a big win at Oklahoma against Oklahoma that Texas could fall flat against Kentucky? Kentucky's not a great team, decent team, average team. It's a game that Texas definitely should win, but it is in Kentucky. How you feel about this game?
I like Texas in this game. I don't think they'll fall flat just because I think last week's win, I think that's going to do the opposite for them. I think that kind of might have I think it's going to give that team some confidence, and they're going to build off that. Because I think a lot of people overreacted because again, they were number 1 ranked team for some reason. Shouldn't have been. But if you look at it, they have the one I guess you could say the Florida loss is a bad loss, but the other loss is to the number 1 team in the country in a game that they had chances to win. It wasn't like Ohio State blew them out. They held Ohio State offense under like 20 points. Like that, they had chances to win that game. So I think Texas is better. It's a better team than what people are giving them credit for, because they were so overvalued early. I'm not saying they're a top 4 team right now, but yeah, I think Texas gets to win.
They're number 21 right now, and the thing about their conference is a real tough conference. But Texas could get right. I mean, if Texas wins out in the SEC, they could get back in the playoff hunt. It's not impossible. They just got to win games. They just got to win games. And I think that, like you said, I kind of agree. I think this game against Oklahoma is going to really help their confidence. And May got them on the right track. We'll find out, see how they play this week. Had one last game, Chris, and it was because of the situation you talked about with Penn State, Franklin getting fired. Penn State goes to Iowa. What are you expecting from Penn State against a very solid Iowa team?
I think Penn State's going to lose. And it's nothing against the interim coach. I think Iowa's quite a bit better team than what Northwestern is.
Yeah.
And Penn State was struggling with Northwestern, was losing that game even when they had their starting quarterback. I know he ended up getting hurt and had to leave the game, and that could have changed it because they could have maybe came back on that game. But I mean, Northwest, they were losing that game with their starting quarterback. So it wasn't like they were playing great. I don't know what happened to Penn State, but they haven't looked like the same team since Oregon. The Oregon loss is like that. Is like that Oregon loss mentally broke the whole damn program. Because since then, I mean, hell, you lose to UCLA, who was I think that was the first win UCLA got, wasn't it?
Yep. And they had just fired their
coach. Like, and then you turn around and you lose to a Northwestern team who don't get me wrong, they're a solid team. They're not terrible, but they're not the top of the Big Ten either. I do like the coach at Pat Fitzgerald. I think they have a good coach there. They have a solid program, and they keep getting better. But But Penn State shouldn't be losing to a team like that. And I think with Iowa's defense right now, they're a little bit better than what Northwestern is. I think Penn State's going to struggle to score points. The only thing that I think it's going to be a real close game and a low scoring game. I'd go with the under because Iowa struggles to score points as well. So
That's their only problem. They got a great defense, one of the best defenses in college football. Yeah, Chris, I think if I remember right, the only two losses Iowa got is Indiana and I think Ohio State. I think them are the only two losses they have. I mean, they very easily could be a top 25 team.
yeah.
If they had a better offense, could be maybe better than that.
Well, did they beat Iowa State?
No, they lost to Iowa State.
They lost to Iowa State and Indiana.
And Iowa State was ranked, but
Iowa State was
they
ranked.
fell off a little bit. Yeah, because Iowa State, when they beat Iowa, was ranked in the top 15.
Yeah.
And it was a last, like a field goal or something.
Yeah, it was a real close game too.
Yep. So, well, that's it for college football. Was there any other games you wanted to touch on for college football?
Well, and really, if you think about it, Iowa gave IU one of their toughest games.
Probably the toughest. Really?
I mean, yeah, that was the game I was most probably. You got to the fourth quarter, I was most worried about. The Oregon game, I got a little nervous when we threw that pick six and got 20-20,
Yeah.
but then we took the control right back again.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, we did.
But no, that's all I have.
Okay, well, let's move on to Thursday night football. We got Pittsburgh, who's only lost one game this year against a struggling Cincinnati team. Even though I thought Cincinnati played a little better last week with a new quarterback. Chris, what are you expecting in this game? It's at Cincinnati. What do you think?
Oh man, this game's a hard one for me because I think Pittsburgh. Everything's telling me that Pittsburgh's going to win this game in my mind, but then you look at it. Mike Tomlin has been terrible on Thursday nights on the road. He's like 1 for 9 or 2 for 10, something like that on the road on Thursday nights. A division game, we know how these AFC North games can be, even when you teams aren't at full strength. But yeah, so I think Pittsburgh. I'm gonna stick with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh wins the game, but like the spread's 5.5, and this is it's not a game I would bet on just because I thought the Bengals looked a little bit better last week, but also I think the Bengals offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
I think the Steelers defensive line could take advantage, but also felt like Green Bay Packers would be able to take advantage of it, and they couldn't. But so it's going to be a weird game, but I think Pittsburgh wins.
Yeah, this is a rivalry game. These two teams hate each other. Usually when they play, there's usually a lot of scuffles and sometimes even fights. Yeah, I worry about Cincinnati's offensive line. Man, Flacco not being able to move much. But Pittsburgh's defense has been suspect at times this year.
Yeah, they made Justin Fields look like all pro.
Yes, they did. And Chris, I don't know why. I'm picking Cincinnati to win this game. I think Flacco's going to have a couple of good games at least for Cincinnati, and I think this might be one of them. It's at home.
I don't blame you because if I was going to bet this game, I would probably take Cincinnati in the 5.5 points. I can see this being a close game. Like Pittsburgh's offense, it's not a real explosive offense. It's not like they score a bunch of points. So this could be. I think it's going to be a closer game than what people think.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh. Don't get me wrong. I think Pittsburgh wins this division. I'm not. But, this is a rivalry game. It's in Cincinnati. Cincinnati's trying to get back in the hunt, playoff hunt in the division. So, it's just like I said, Flacco's he's throwing 60%, complete 60%. His touchdown interception ratio is not great for the year with the two teams he's played, but I just got a feeling he's going to have 2 or 3 good games in this season, and I think Cincinnati's going to get him tonight.
Hey, how's it going, Joe? Joe says he has Steelers winning big.
It's possible because, like I said, we've seen Cincinnati's offensive line and Cincinnati's defense play about as terrible as you can. So I mean, it's not
Oh yeah, I
impossible.
mean, it could happen. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. If, I wouldn't be real surprised. I don't know. For some reason, I just have a feeling it's going to be a close game.
Yep. And Pittsburgh and Cincinnati's usually, Chris, and I know this is not a typical year because of the injury Cincinnati's got, but usually them two teams split. Usually a team don't win both games. This is a big rivalry. And I think if Cincinnati's going to get them, they're going to get them at home. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Chris, that's all I had, except I was going to ask you one question. When we shift back to baseball, and we talk just for a minute or so about our Cincinnati Reds. And my question to you is, what do you think the Reds need to do to take that next step? I mean, we both said they was going to be in the playoffs, and we made the playoffs. And then we got handed to us by the Dodgers, but right now everybody's getting handed to by the Dodgers. So, that's fine. I think we had a successful season. Could it have been better? Sure, but I think we took that first step. You got to take that step. What do you think is the next step that Cincinnati? Is there a move they need to make, or do they need to make some changes with the lineup? What do you think they're needing to do to be able to take that next step and go further?
I think really maybe I don't think you got to do a whole lot. I would definitely try to strengthen your bullpen a little bit. But for the most part, our bullpen was like we were in the top half of the MLB for most of the season. Like we had a couple bad weeks there in September, but other than that, they were pretty damn good for most of the year. But you always can use bullpen help, and then maybe try to get a big bat. But other than that, I don't think you do a whole lot. I think people forget, especially if you're not a Reds fan and follow the team, and even if you do follow the team, you got some of these people that claim that they're Reds fans. I don't know if they ever even watch a Reds game, but you got to remember, Matt McClain missed all last season. Come back this season from a shoulder. He didn't look like the Matt McClain he did his rookie year when he was the best player we had on our team. Especially he struck. Now defensively he still did, but not at the plate. A shoulder injury with your swing and everything, it usually takes about a season, just like Achilles injury in other sports. It takes a while to get back to where you were. I think you'll see a big jump in him next year. Spencer Steer, once he got healthy, guy started producing. But to me, you got to figure out what you're going to do with Elodie Cruz. If are you going to play him at shortstop and develop him and get him where he's not making the stupid simple mistakes, or are you going to try him at a different position? I think they're going to end up leading him at short. Which if you can develop him and cut it out where he's not leading the league in errors. If you cut them damn errors in half, he'd be a hell of a fucking shortstop.
Yeah.
Because he can make plays that other guys can't make. The problem is your shortstop can't lead the league in errors. So they got to figure that out. But I think the biggest thing is if you could add a power bat, even if it's a guy that's going to be a DH. I think you need to make sure you got it. Which I think he's under contract for at least another year. Brian Hayes, I think a couple years. I think you keep him. Yeah. I think if you can. Andahar, he was a good addition. Even off the bench, he's a hell of a bat, especially against lefties. And he can play. He can play in the field when you needed him. So yeah, I think maybe a big bat and then try to strengthen the bullpen. Yeah,
I agree with you. I think we need a big bat. If not a big bat, at least a clutch hitter, somebody that can come through in the clutch. I mean, not necessarily. I'm not even saying necessarily a home run hitter. Like a lot of people like the guy from Philly. and he may be available. But I mean, he's a power bat. Don't hit for a high average. I would like that, but I wouldn't have a problem if they went out and got somebody that maybe don't hit 50 home runs, maybe only hits 25 home runs, but it's just that clutch hitter. When a guy gets on base, he gonna move him around. He gonna score him. I think we could find a bat like it. I thought the one Hayes guy was going to be that for us, and then he got hurt, and a couple of times, and he never got back to where he was. I mean, you look at the first 40 games or so, man, he looked like, this is going to be our guy that's really going to help us. And then he got hurt and all changed.
Yeah, Gavin Lux was pretty clutch for us this year.
Yeah. After seeing, and again, it was our first time in the playoffs in a while, and it was the first time for a lot of these players. So, I don't want to be too harsh, but do you think could this team use a veteran arm? Somebody with a lot of experience to help guide these guys, because Green's not, he's been in the league, 3, 4, 5 years, but got his taste of playoff experience. Same thing with Lewandowski, same thing with Abbott. Do you think adding a veteran arm that might be on your back end of your rotation, but just that veteran, a guy that's been there, who's been in those playoffs, been in those wars, I think that could help the team. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it could. Just depends on who you can get. I like our rotations, but I wouldn't be. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad. I think Littell gives them a little bit of that because when they brought him in, because he's been around for a little while. Maybe he's not. He hasn't won. I don't know if he's won a World Series. Well, he was with the Rays, so he might have been in some big playoff moments with them. But yeah, I think it wouldn't hurt to get if you can get a veteran guy. I wish we did still like I said. I wish we still had Castillo. If you had Castillo with this young group of guys, that really changes what we have.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you. It wouldn't be a bad move at all if we could find a veteran guy at the right price. Now you don't want to go spend a bunch of. I wouldn't go spend a bunch of money on a veteran guy unless it's. Unless you're bringing in freaking Blake Snell or something.
Yeah. I wasn't even talking about a guy at that level.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, you're talking about a guy that might be on the backside of his career, but
he may be your fourth, he could be your 4th, 5th starter, or maybe he's even a middle relief guy now. But he's a guy that's got that. He's got that pedigree. He's been in those playoff wars. He's been in the championship games, and he's had success. I think that could, and also that he would be known.
I'd like to see him bring, or if a guy like that, if you're going to go after somebody like that, Shane Bieber. If you get Bieber's, for one, he's familiar with Francona, but that dude's been in some big moments. He's been around for a long time. Somebody like that, I think could add. Because look, I know people trash the dude and stuff, but if you remember when Trevor Bauer was with the Reds, what did all the young Reds pitchers talk about? How much Trevor Bauer helped him. Sonny Gray, Ashcraft, all them guys. That's all they talked about was how Bauer, which at that time he was he was the veteran on the staff.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about how bad of a teammate he is outside of Cincinnati. I've never heard none of his teammates in Cincinnati say anything but good things about him. But everywhere else, he's had problems. But to your point, though, he helped our pitching staff a lot that year just with his presence and helping the guys.
I think so too. I think, and I agree with you about De La Cruz. We've got to do something there. We can't have. I don't care if he's a Golden Glove shortstop, but he can't lead the league in errors. He's got to cut that in half at the very least, or you got to make him or you can say, okay, we're going to switch him to the outfield. He's going to play some outfield. And he's going to be designated hitter sometime. We have to do.
We have 2 Golden Glove finalists.
Probably Hayes.
Brian Hayes and Spencer Steer.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd probably Steer because I heard a lot of good things about Steer at first base. So, do you think that because we lost Votto And then we made the trade. I'm forgetting his name. You know who I'm talking about. The guy played second, and he
India.
got traded to Kansas City. Who?
India.
India. We kind of lost our leadership. Is there somebody on the team you think that can take over that, or would be good to get somebody to come in here and kind of be that team leader? Because I think that's something we was missing this year.
I think TJ Friedel is was kind of that guy for us a lot this year, and I think Gavin Lux could be that guy for us as well. I think you saw Lux as the season went on get a lot more comfortable in Cincinnati, being he just came over. Friedel, when he's healthy, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but TJ Friedel was the best player the Cincinnati Reds had this year. I mean, if you could say is Deli Cruz the most talented player on the team? Yes, probably. But if you watch those games, TJ Friedel was our most consistent player throughout the whole season. Should have been an all-star.
Yep.
And but yeah, I think Friedel's underrated. I think he's a hell of a lot better ball player than what people give him credit for.
Yeah, I agree with you. Well, what do you think? Do you think the Reds make a lot of moves? What do you think they stand pat? What do you think?
I don't think they stand pat. I think they're going to try to improve their lineup, the batting order some where it's try to get where you're scoring runs more consistently. I don't expect any like big changes, but I think you're going to see them add a couple pieces. I think they got a budding star in Marte, and I think moving him to right field was a real good move, and that dude can hit the hell out of a baseball. I think they think he's going to keep progressing. Look how much better he got from last year to this year. So if he takes a jump, I think they're expecting a lot from him. I think you could see Encarnacion Strand might be gone with just injuries and stuff. I think he's a guy that they thought was going to be that power bat, but he just ain't been able to stay on the field. And when he plays, he can hit the hell of a ball. But with the emergence, also we do have a power bat coming up, and we got to see that the last month of this year with Sal Stewart. That he could be that power bat that we're missing. And if you looked at him when he came up in like September, and he was hitting close, he was hitting like 280, 280, 300 when he came up, and was only up in the big leagues for what, a month, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So like, and he played some good defense at first and at third. I think he's a guy that is going to be big for us. So I think Reds are moving in the right direction. And it was the first year with Francona. I'm expecting them to be competing for that division next year and having a chance to make the playoffs without being a wild card. I really do.
When you think about it, I mean, I know we was way out of our division, but we led the league in losing extra inning games. We lost a bunch of one-run games. I mean, our record could have really been flipped. We could have won another 15 games easy.
What people don't realize, we had a hell of a second half.
Yeah.
If we would have played as good in the second half of the season, the first half of the season, we would have had a chance in our division. Second half of the season, we had the second toughest schedule in baseball, and we I think if I remember right, we was a little over 500.
Yeah.
But that first half of the season, when our schedule was lighter, we didn't take advantage of it.
Well, we struggled against the teams that were considered weaker and played better against the stronger teams.
We had a winning record against the better teams and a losing record against the teams under 500.
Yeah, I expect us to be in the playoffs again next year. And like I said, I agree with you. I have a good chance for the division. But definitely, I think we'll be a playoff team again next year. As of right now. Now, we'll see what moves they make or don't make. But and the other guy that you mentioned, the third baseman, Hayes, I think he's a guy that they can work with. And because he's hit 270, 280 before.
Yeah.
So he can do that again.
And he hit the ball better when he came over to the Reds than what he was in Pittsburgh too. He had a pretty good. I think because at one time he had got his average up to like 270 with the Reds, and it went down a little bit more. But yeah, he hit the ball better with the Reds and hit more home runs with the Reds than he did with the Pirates. So in the first month he was with the Reds, he hit like 3, and he'd only hit like 1 the whole season with the Pirates.
He's a very, very good third baseman.
Oh man, defensively, but he came up with some timely hits too. He came up with some clutch hits.
Well, Chris, that's all I got. We'll get out of here for today. Tomorrow we'll talk about baseball and get up to date on that after these 2 games that are tonight. And then we've got a big NFL schedule to go over that's going to be happening this weekend.
All right. Let me find the button.
Everybody have a good day.
Yeah, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, ESCN, and at Gonzo Sports Room. And we'll see you guys tomorrow right around 2 o'clock.